Hey everyone, it's the Eclectic Handyman here today talking about how to rip lengthwise long deck boards. Let's learn how to do it. Alright, so if you're working on a deck, there's going to be times where you may need to make a rip cut that's lengthwise down a very long board. So it's easy all day long with the miter saw to make cuts across the board, but when you need to do it lengthwise, it gets a little bit tricky. So here's the way that we end up doing it. Now, I don't like videos where you have to have a bunch of tools already, but there are a few things that you're going to need. As you see here, I do have 3 quality sawhorses. This is the BORA Workhorse XT. I've picked up 3 of these at Lowe's, and what I've gone ahead and done is mounted these sacrificial boards to the top. Now you can use a 2x4 or whatever you want. I decided to go ahead and use a deck board because I like the width. This will provide the proper support. I have that across all 3 right now. So that way, as you're cutting, not only can you cut into that extra board and make sure that the blade's going all the way through, but your piece, your scrap piece, won't end up falling and having a problem with the blade. All right, so next up, the device that we're going to use is a very common one. It's the Kreg Rip Cut tool that we can mount our circular saw, and it doesn't have to be battery powered. It can be battery powered, it can be corded, whatever you want. And so essentially this sled right here, and there's a lot of setup videos including from Kreg, you can set it up in this sled. It's a universal fit, and then it goes across this ruler, and then you can set exactly how wide you need your rip cut to be. The way it works is that this piece slides along the edge of your wood, and as it's sliding along, you're getting that consistent cut. So once you have your saw mounted and you've got your width set, all you need to do is start cutting and follow along. Now, one of the cool things about this versus using like a plumb line, or if you've measured, is, you know, a lot of times the boards, they're bowed out or in, or they're crooked. So if you try to do a straight line, it may not be exactly how you want it. But what this does is, since it's constantly using the edge as a reference, you'll get that straight cut all the way down. Now, there's multiple ways to do it. There's guides that can go on your saw itself, but I find this, which is about a $40 investment, $45 off of Amazon. Get this set up. It just takes a matter of minutes, and then you're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead, get the battery in the saw, and let's cut the lengthwise along this. Again, keeping this piece of wood mounted on top of those sawhorses. If you don't have enough sawhorses, be careful, because for very long boards, they can bend in the middle and you can have problems cutting. These sawhorses were about $40, $45 a piece. So total investment, you're still saving a lot of money to be able to do this over and over and over. Another note about rip cuts that are lengthwise is try to find your boards that are, you know, not so good on one side, like this one's cracked and such, because as long as you have the side that you need that's in good shape, you should be able to use that for your cut. So if you've got some knots or some problems, some, you know, like this one's hollowed out, this is not the good side, so we'll make sure to keep the side that we need. Okay, so I'm ready to make my cut. I position the sled, the outside edge, butt it up against, and I can lead along this front edge, the blades on this side, and just make a consistent non-stop cut. Well, would you look at that? A 16-foot board cut perfectly all along the length here. And I happen to do a 3-inch cut. So taking a look, you can go along and see all along it's even all the way down. So the process is pretty trivial once you get it set up. So again, get yourself enough sawhorses to support the length of what cut you're making. If you're only doing an 8-foot board, maybe 10 or 12 foot, you certainly should be able to get away with 2. You start getting into 13, 14, 15, 16 feet, you're going to need 3 sawhorses. It's ample, had no problems cutting. Just take your time and you make a successful cut. Anyway, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Hope you found this useful, and until next time, this is the Eclectic Handyman. We'll see you later.